Toronto Raptors beat the Memphis Grizzlies 117 to 104 and improved to 3-4 on the season. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Yusuf Boss, and welcome back to the newest episode of the Raptors Rundown. I know that this episode's coming out a little bit later, but I apologize. I was a little bit sick. I'm feeling good enough to record a little bit, but if my voice seems a little bit shaky, I'm still recovering, so please forgive me. I'm also recovering emotionally because I was so goddamn mentally drained from the Game 7 defeat by the Toronto Blue Jays. My God, Toronto sports are cursed. And yeah, that's like a really good talking point because this game was honestly just, I was so, mentally drained is the perfect way to explain it. I was so neutral and, just done with watching sports, but I had to for that game. It was the same way with the Bills. The Bills played they played during the game as well. And, I was just out of it for the entire time. Just for the entire day, I was thinking about that Blue Jays choke. But nonetheless, I did watch the game, and luckily the Toronto Raptors cheered up my mood because they got their third win of the season. One win away from being 500 once again, finally. So, thank God. The first thing straight off as, a key takeaway from this game was, honestly, our defense finally is starting to look extremely competent for once. And I think it comes down to the fact that we're just overall having a lot better rotations. People are switching better, they're communicating better, there's not that many people being left wide open. There's the occasional three-point shot that's being wide open, there's the occasional, uncontested layup, but that happens in the NBA. Especially with a team like us who's trying to focus so much on this pressure and these blind double teams, which sometimes work, sometimes don't. It's kind of like a Hail Mary play for some reason that we will run in the second or third quarter. But overall, just been a lot more better rotations defensively. Brandon Ingram as well looked a lot better defensively. This was his best defensive game in my opinion. There was actually one play where I think it was Cedric Coward or someone where he single-handedly forced a travel and forced a turnover himself. There was also another play where he blocked the shot, which was insane in the fourth quarter, and he just looked a lot more active and engaged on the defensive end. Offensively, we know what Brandon Ingram is going to bring, and he brought it once again today, scoring 26 points, getting 7 rebounds, 4 assists. But defensively, it's where I want to see him sort of take that step and take that leap that wasn't there in past years. Offensively, he's going to get it. Brandon Ingram goes and drives to the paint, he pump fakes on mid-ranges, and he gets smacked, and the refs wouldn't call it, especially in this game. It was really frustrating to see. But yeah, he's just such a high-level bucket getter. I know it sounds crazy, but we keep saying it. We haven't had a level of this level of a bucket getter since Kawhi Leonard. A guy where, you're leaking oil a little bit, you can just get him the ball, and he can get you an easy 2 points. We came out of half with a lot of energy both ways, offensively and defensively. Then we gave up a 14-4 run, but we responded after taking a timeout with our own 7-0 run. And Brandon Ingram was a huge part of both those runs coming out of the half and keeping us having that lead after the 14-4 run by Memphis. RJ Barrett had a great game once again. He had 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 10 for 19 shooting the ball. It's so incredible with RJ Barrett because when he's shooting a lot, it is always efficient. In the past, he's had an issue where he's forcing up shots, but just because he has to reach this sort of total that he's created in his head. But nowadays, if his shot's not falling, I've seen games where he's only reached 11, 12 shots. But today, he was scoring at such an efficient level that he got up to 19 shots with a guy like Brandon Ingram and Scottie Barnes on your team. And he acknowledged that in one of the interviews, saying it's become so much easier because of the gravity that Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram has provided for him. And he's become so much better overall because he's acknowledged and understood that he is on some nights not going to be the top scorer. He's not going to be the guy putting up the most shots because we have Brandon Ingram and Scottie Barnes. And he's learned about other ways to impact this team than he has in the past. Because in the past, it was literally just purely scoring the ball, number one option, getting his numbers, and it was sort of empty stats. But yeah, he's improved a lot on both sides of the ball. Offensively, he's looked a lot more calm and patient. Defensively, he's improved a lot. He's not one of the worst defenders on the team anymore, so that's really good. It's a really good sign for RJ Barrett. Scottie Barnes had an incredible all-around game. This was the perfect example of a game where he wasn't the number one scoring option, but he impacted the game in so many different ways that he ended up being one of the best players on the floor tonight. Near triple-double with 19 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and he got a steal, and the biggest stat line of the night, 5 blocks. He was such a high-level shot blocker in this game against some pretty solid players in the Memphis Grizzlies. I've said this in the past, Scottie Barnes is so elite as a weak side help defender when it comes to rim protecting the ball. He's really good at timing when he has to come off his man to go and help contest the shot. There's one play in particular where he was guarding Jaren Jackson Jr. in the corner. Santi Aldama had a smaller Grady Dick on him, and Scottie Barnes perfectly timed the double team to where the pass went in and he just stole it out of the hands of Santi Aldama. It's that IQ on the defensive end that's going to make him an all-defensive NBA team member in the future. And if he can single-handedly anchor this team back to a solid defense, I think he definitely, absolutely deserves it. Murray Boyles was another shining star in this game, scoring 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists with 3 steals. I've said this so many times since that first game where he scored 0 points. He does not look like a rookie out there. The lack of fear is incredible. In his first couple of NBA games, I've seen him go into the chest of Victor Wembanyama, Evan Mobley, and Jaren Jackson Jr., 3 defensive players of the year. Like, his strength as a rookie, it's insane. It reminds me of a rookie Scottie Barnes, where he just had this otherworldly strength as a first-year player. So far, he's been able to guard the other team's best player. He's been rebounding the ball very well. He's been facilitating and playmaking really well. There was one play in particular where he was top, literally near the half-court line, and he played a perfect pass to the cutting Brandon Ingram. It's genuinely so incredible to see. If we can add his playmaking to this team, it's going to be different. And overall, just the team looks so much better with him out there. And like, I know Jakob Poeltl's going to come back, and there's a certain point guard that has been playing incredibly well. So I would like to experiment with a lineup that still starts Murray Boyles. I think he also sets the tone defensively. I think he is the great anchor for our defense. He can guard anyone on the floor. He can guard 1 through 5. So yeah, I think that's a really big storyline, especially when Jakob Poeltl comes back. This is a way better Grady Dick game. I mean, the stat line doesn't really pop out to you. He only scored 8 points, but he was way better at finding his shot, way better at getting involved in the offensive game. And I mean, it shows. That's why Darko Rajakovic continued to play him 20 minutes tonight. I think it's a process for Grady Dick. He's still trying to find his role, still trying to find out how he can be effective off the bench. I want to see more of this game, more of what he did against Atlanta, where the offense is initiated through him instead of to him. To end it off for the Raptors, I have to mention again, but the lineup just looked way better with Jamal Shead instead of Emmanuel Quickley. And I understand it's tough to warrant playing your sophomore over your $35 million point guard. And I know Darko Rajakovic continues to maintain the stance that he's going to start Emmanuel Quickley, and he still believes in Emmanuel Quickley. But at what point do you say, do you cut your losses and be like, Jamal Shead just making the lineup a lot better, just purely on a defensive standpoint? And then offensively, I genuinely think his three-point shot has been a lot more reliable than Emmanuel Quickley. And mainly just because he takes smart threes. You're not seeing Jamal Shead, he's taken some transition threes in the past, but mainly they're standstill threes when he's basically wide open. He takes really smart shots, and honestly, I would like to see him out there. Now with Jakob Poeltl, he's questionable tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. With Jakob Poeltl coming back, I'm interested to see what the lineup will look like. Obviously, I want to say Murray Boyles starts. I would put Scottie Barnes at the point guard. I do think Darko Rajakovic is going to go back to the lineup that started the season, which scares me a little bit, especially going against the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll talk about that a little bit after. But eventually, what can you do? If Jamal Shead is just purely outplaying Emmanuel Quickley, then he should definitely get that starting position. Or keep them both off the bench. Emmanuel Quickley can play shooting guard off the bench. He played shooting guard for the New York Knicks. Off ball, he's an incredible player. So I don't mind seeing both of them off the bench as well. And then you start Scottie Barnes at point guard. Some big stats from the game. We won the offensive rebound battle. I said that as one of the key takeaways. Let's go. Won it 15-11. And the overall rebound battle as well, 49-41. Kept them off the glass. Really big W for us. 7 blocks as a team. Don't know whether that's a season high, but it definitely feels like it. Shot blocking, I know it was mainly Scottie Barnes, but still, just overall, I highlighted that because the rim protection was a lot better in this game. And we're getting better at not fouling. Only 23, still a little bit too much, but 23 fouls, not bad for me. A preview against the Milwaukee Bucks. We dropped the first game against them, so we realized how important it is going to be having Jakob Poeltl out there on the floor. So we're low-key going to need a healthy Jakob Poeltl out there against Milwaukee. I hope he's fully healed. I said I do not want him back until he's fully healed and his back spasms are gone. So the fact that he's questionable and he ran through a practice recently, it's a good sign. I hope he looks a lot better now after getting that little break. I think the duo of him and Colin Bulls, who we didn't have in that first game against Milwaukee, it's going to be really interesting versus Giannis and Miles Turner. They both got whatever they wanted at the rim. And honestly, the point guards as well for Milwaukee. So I'm happy that we've sort of fixed our rim protection a little bit, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like against Milwaukee. They're also coming off the second night of a back-to-back, so we have the advantage of the unrest at that point, so we cannot come out with low energy. We have no excuse for that. And overall, we just can't let Ryan Rollins, Cole Anthony, or Gary Trent Jr. get going again. That's what killed us in the last game. We had a great offensive game, but then we just could not get a single stop. Speaking a little bit about Memphis, I'm really interested to see what this Ja Morant situation ends up being, because he is putting out a lot of cryptic messaging. He's trying to act like a diva a little bit, and it seems like that relationship is way too far beyond getting patched, honestly. Thomas Iasalo doesn't really look like he has any faith in him. The team is willing to suspend him for a game, and he does not look... like he said, he's lost his joy. He does not look happy out there. The last person that lost his joy, Jimmy Butler, joined the Golden State Warriors, so I'm just saying. But yeah, from a Grizzlies standpoint, they struggle to get any offense. I'm really interested to see what it looks like when their best offensive player gets traded, and I'm interested to see where he goes. For a Raptors deal, I mean, if the value is a lot lower, I think there's no harm in exploring a trade because it's an immediate upgrade over Emmanuel Quickley. But I will say, to be completely honest, the fit, it would improve our offensive game tremendously, but I still think we have a lack of defense at that point guard position by trading for Ja Morant. But honestly, if the deal is really good value for us, I would be 100% up for it. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Raptors Rundown. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below your predictions for Raptors versus Bucks. It's probably gonna go. This episode's probably gonna go out while the Bucks game is going on. So hopefully we're winning at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Raptors Rundown.